Listen to me and listen carefully. Clarity is power. If you don't know where you're going, how do you expect to get there? Too many people wake up every single day without a clear direction. They drift through life reacting to whatever comes their way instead of creating the life they truly want. And that's the problem. You cannot afford to be casual with your vision. You can't just hope things fall into place. Hope is not a strategy. Hope doesn't get you results. You need to be intentional, deliberate, and crystal clear about what you want. You see, most people want success, but when you ask them what success looks like for them, they give vague answers. I just want to be successful. What does that even mean? Success in what? Making money, having a great body, building a strong family? You have to define it. You have to be able to see it before you can seize it. If you don't have a clear destination, every road will look like the right road, and you'll waste years wandering in circles. You have to be specific. You need to wake up every morning knowing exactly what you are chasing. When you look at the most successful people in the world, one thing they all have in common is absolute clarity. They don't just say, I want to be rich. No, they set a clear goal. I want to build a business that generates $10 million a year. They don't say, I want to be in shape. They say, I will train 5 days a week, eat clean, and drop 30 pounds in the next 6 months. Do you see the difference? Vague desires get vague results. But when you define your goal with precision, your mind gets to work on figuring out how to achieve it. You have to write it down. Not type it in your phone, not just think about it, write it down. There's power in taking a pen and putting your vision on paper. Studies have shown that people who write down their goals are significantly more likely to achieve them. But beyond the science, there's something spiritual about it. Writing your vision makes it real. It forces you to commit. It's the first step in turning an idea into reality. And don't just write it once and forget about it. Read it every single day. When you wake up in the morning, remind yourself why you're grinding. Before you go to sleep, remind yourself what you're building. You have to keep that vision in front of you at all times, because life will throw distractions at you. It will try to pull you off course. And if your vision isn't strong enough, you get knocked off track. You need to see it before you can achieve it. If you can't visualize yourself winning, you won't win. If you can't see yourself becoming that version of you that you dream about, you will never become it. Every great athlete, every great leader, every great entrepreneur, they all saw it before it happened. They saw themselves holding that trophy, standing on that stage, running that business long before it was a reality. That's how powerful clarity is. It creates belief, and belief fuels action. But some of you are still playing small because you don't believe it's possible for you. You've let fear and doubt cloud your vision. You've let past failures convince you that maybe success isn't for you. And I'm here to tell you that's a lie. You were created for greatness, but you can't step into it if you can't even define what it looks like. It's time to stop being vague about your future. It's time to stop saying one day and start making it today. I need you to take a hard look at your life right now and ask yourself, what do I truly want? Not what your parents want, not what society says you should want, not what's comfortable. What do you want? Because when you get clear on that, when you can see it with absolute certainty, everything else will fall into place. You won't need motivation because your vision will drive you. You won't get easily distracted because you'll know exactly what you're working toward. You won't give up when things get tough because you'll have a destination that's bigger than your excuses. So today I challenge you, get clear, define your vision, write it down, read it every day, make it real, because until you do that, you're just wandering. And wandering never led anybody to greatness. Listen to me. Distractions are the enemy of your destiny. I need you to get this deep down in your spirit. You say you want success. You say you want to be great. You say you're hungry for more. But every time I look at you, you're getting distracted. You're letting everything pull you away from what you said you wanted. And then you wonder why you're not where you want to be. It's because you're letting too many things steal your focus. You wake up in the morning, and the first thing you do is scroll. You spend hours on social media watching other people live their dreams instead of working on your own. You let notifications dictate your day instead of being intentional with your time. You're giving your energy to every little thing that pops up, and then you wonder why you feel drained, exhausted, unmotivated. It's not that you don't have the ability. It's not that you're not talented. It's that you're not locked in. When you're serious about executing at a high level, you have to guard your mind like your life depends on it, because it does. Your mind is your most powerful weapon, but it's also the most vulnerable. If you don't protect it, distractions will hijack it, and you'll spend your days busy but not productive, moving but not progressing. You can't afford that. You have to take control. You have to eliminate anything that's not pushing you forward. Some of you are struggling not because you lack discipline, but because you're surrounding yourself with the wrong people. You're trying to stay focused, but you're still hanging around folks who have no vision, no drive, no hunger. Every time you talk about your goals, they look at you crazy. Every time you try to level up, they pull you back down. You need to cut them off. Not because you're better than them, but because you're on a mission. You can't take everybody with you. Some people are distractions in disguise. Some people are roadblocks to your destiny. And if you're serious about executing, you have to be willing to walk away from anything that's slowing you down. You have to stop entertaining negativity. Some of you spend more time complaining about your situation than you do working to change it. You let every little inconvenience steal your peace. Somebody says something negative about you and it throws off your whole day. You can't afford that. You have to be so locked in on your purpose that you don't even have time to entertain nonsense. Let me tell you something. Every time you give your energy to negativity, you are feeding the very thing that's holding you back. Every time you engage in drama, every time you argue over things that don't matter, every time you dwell on what went wrong instead of focusing on what's next, you are taken away from your power. And the enemy of execution is wasted energy. You have to train yourself to focus on what matters. The most successful people in the world don't get caught up in distractions. They don't let every little thing pull them off course. They don't entertain foolishness. They are locked in. They are ruthless with their time. They understand that every minute wasted is a minute they can never get back. And you need to adopt that same mindset. Stop letting temporary emotions dictate permanent decisions. Stop letting people who don't even believe in themselves talk you out of believing in you. Stop giving your time to things that don't align with your vision. Because here's the truth. Every yes to a distraction is a no to your dreams. Every time you choose comfort over discipline, every time you choose entertainment over education, every time you choose excuses over execution, you are delaying your own progress. You have to take responsibility for your focus. Nobody is going to do it for you. Nobody is going to come and remove the distractions from your life. That's your job. You have to create an environment that supports your goals. You have to wake up every day and decide that nothing is going to pull you away from your purpose. That means setting boundaries. That means turning off notifications. That means saying no to things that don't serve you. That means prioritizing your time like your future depends on it, because it does. There is no greatness without sacrifice. You're going to have to give up some things if you want to go to the next level. You might have to give up late nights. You might have to give up certain relationships. You might have to give up mindless scrolling, binge watching, and hanging out just for the sake of hanging out. And I know it's hard. I know it's uncomfortable, but you have to decide, do you want comfort or do you want success? Because you can't have both. You have to be so obsessed with your vision that distractions don't even tempt you anymore. You have to be so locked in that when people try to pull you into nonsense, you don't even flinch. You have to get to the point where you value your focus too much to waste it on anything that doesn't push you forward. So today I need you to make a decision. No more distractions, no more wasted time, no more excuse. Get locked in. Protect your focus like your future depends on it, because it does. Everybody wants to win. Everybody wants success. Everybody wants to be great. But the difference between the ones who achieve it and the ones who don't is simple. Discipline. You hear me? Discipline over motivation, because motivation is a feeling, and feelings change. One day you wake up inspired, ready to take on the world. The next day, life punches you in the face, and suddenly You don't feel like working. You don't feel like grinding. You don't feel like showing up. And that's why so many people fail, because they only move when they feel like it. But discipline don't care about feelings. Discipline don't need motivation. Discipline says, I don't care if I feel tired. I don't care if I'm frustrated. I don't care if nobody's watching. I'm still going to show up and put in the work. That's the difference between the amateurs and the elite. The amateurs do it when it's convenient. The elite do it because it's required. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you did something you didn't feel like doing, but you did it anyway because you knew it was necessary? That's the test right there. Can you push through when the excitement wears off? Can you stay locked in when the results don't show up right away? Can you keep executing when nobody's clapping for you? You think the greats wake up every day excited to grind? You think they feel like getting up at 4 a.m., hitting the gym, putting in the work day after day, year after year? No, but they do it anyway. Why? Because they made a commitment to themselves that their dreams were non-negotiable. That's what separates them from the rest. It's not just about talent. It's not just about passion. It's about the habits they built when nobody was watching. Some of you are relying too much on how you feel. You wake up and decide how productive you're going to be based on your mood. If you feel good, you work hard. If you feel tired, you slack off. That's not how champions operate. Champions show up no matter what. They don't leave success up to chance. They create systems, they build routines, they establish habits that make winning automatic. You don't have a motivation problem, you have a discipline problem. And if you keep waiting to feel like it, you're going to be waiting forever. Success doesn't wait for you to be in the mood. Success rewards the ones who show up every single day and do what they said they were going to do, whether they feel like it or not. You got to make the decision. Are you going to let your feelings control your future? Are you going to take control? Are you going to keep making excuses? Or are you going to build the habits that lead to greatness? Because I'm telling you right now, the ones who win, they don't win because they're always motivated. They win because they made discipline a lifestyle. So today, make the commitment. No more waiting on motivation. No more excuses. Build the habits. Stick to the process. Do what's required, not just what's comfortable, because discipline is the key to everything you want. You say you want success. You say you want to reach the next level. You talk about your goals, your dreams, the life you want to build. But let me ask you something. What are you doing every single day to make it happen? Because talk is cheap. Dreams don't work unless you do. It's not enough to have a vision. It's not enough to write it down. It's not enough to be inspired. Inspiration without execution is just entertainment. You feel good for a moment, but nothing changes. Too many people get stuck in the planning phase. They sit around thinking, strategizing, waiting for the perfect moment. And while they're waiting, somebody else is out there taking action. Somebody else is moving. Somebody else is making mistakes, learning from them, adjusting and getting better while you're still sitting on the sidelines trying to make everything perfect before you start. Let me tell you something. There is no perfect time. There is no perfect plan. There is no moment where everything magically lines up and success just falls into your lap. The only way to win is to start right now with what you have, where you are, because execution is the difference maker. It's what separates the successful from the ones who just talk about being successful. You have to take action every single day, not when you feel like it, not when the conditions are right, not when it's convenient, every single day. Because every day you hesitate, every day you procrastinate, every day you make excuses, you are pushing your dreams further away. And while you're waiting, somebody else is executing. Somebody else is out there putting in the work that you should be doing. You ever wonder why some people who seem less talented, less gifted, less intelligent than you are out there winning? It's because they're taking action. They're not waiting for permission. They're not waiting for motivation. They're not waiting for someone to come and push them. They push themselves. They make moves. They take risks. And yes, sometimes they fail. But guess what? Failure is part of the process. You learn, you adjust, you keep going. Some of you are so afraid of making mistakes that you don't move at all. You're so scared of failing that you stay stuck in the same place year after year. watching other people live the life you could be living if you just had the courage to take action. You have to stop letting fear paralyze you. Stop overthinking. Stop doubting yourself. Stop waiting for the stars to align. Just start, because the truth is you're never going to feel 100% ready. But if you wait until you do, you'll never move. You have to develop a bias for action. That means instead of thinking about what you should do, you just do it. Instead of talking about your dreams, you execute. Instead of making excuses, you make progress. And you do it every single day. Because momentum is real. The more you execute, the more confidence you build. The more confidence you build, the more unstoppable you become. I need you to ask yourself right now, what is one thing you've been putting off? One thing you know you need to do, but you keep pushing to tomorrow, next week, next month, whatever that is. I need you to stop waiting and do it today. Because today is all you have. You don't control tomorrow. You don't control next week. All you have is right now. And what you do right now determines everything. So no more excuses, no more waiting, no more hesitation. Take action, execute, move with urgency. Because if you don't, somebody else will. Every time you say yes to something that doesn't align with your vision, you are saying no to your dreams. Every time you agree to something that pulls you away from your purpose, you are delaying your own progress. And some of you wonder why you're not where you want to be. It's because you keep giving away your time, your energy, your focus to things that don't serve you. You have to learn how to say no. You don't owe everybody your time. You don't owe everybody your energy. You don't have to be available 24/7. Some of you are burning yourselves out, stretching yourselves thin, running in circles, trying to please everybody except the one person who matters most, you. You keep saying yes to things that drain you, yes to things that distract you, yes to things that take you further away from the life you said you wanted. And then you wonder why you're exhausted. You wonder why you're frustrated. It's because you're not protecting your priorities. You have to start guarding your time like your life depends on it. Because it does. Every minute wasted is a minute you can't get back. Every hour spent doing something that doesn't push you forward is an hour stolen from your future. And the truth is, some of you know exactly what's slowing you down. You know who's wasting your time. You know what habits are keeping you stuck. But instead of cutting them off, you keep making excuses. You keep telling yourself, it's not that bad. I can handle it. Maybe it'll change. No, it's time to wake up. It's time to get serious. You cannot afford to keep entertaining distractions. You are not being mean by saying no. You're not being selfish. You are being focused. You are being disciplined. You are showing the world that you value your purpose too much to waste it on things that don't align with your mission. And let me tell you something. Not everybody is going to like it. When you start setting boundaries, when you start protecting your time, when you stop saying yes to every request, some people are going to get upset. They're going to call you different. They're going to say you've changed. And you know what? Good. You're supposed to change. You're supposed to grow. You're supposed to elevate. And elevation requires separation. You cannot take everybody with you. Some people are only meant to be in your life for a season. And when that season is over, you have to be willing to let go. Some of you are holding on to relationships, friendships, environments that are keeping you stuck. And deep down, you know it. You know certain people in your life don't believe in your vision. You know certain people are holding you back. But because you don't want to disappoint them, because you don't want to hurt their feelings, you keep yourself small. Stop shrinking yourself to make other people comfortable. Stop lowering your standards to fit in. Stop saying yes to things that don't align with your destiny. You were made for more. You were made for greatness. But you will never step into it if you keep allowing distractions to pull you away from your purpose. You have to get serious about your future. You have to protect your focus like a lion protects its territory. Because if you don't, the world will keep throwing distractions at you. Opportunities that look good but are meant for you. People who pretend to support you but are secretly holding you back. Situations that feel comfortable but are keeping you from growing. You have to be able to discern what's worth your time and what's not. And here's the reality. Not every opportunity is meant for you. Not every request deserves a yes. Not every event, every invite, every favor is something you need to take on. Because every time you say yes to something that doesn't align with your mission, you are robbing yourself of the time and energy you need to execute at the highest level. You have to start seeing your time as your most valuable asset. More valuable than money, more valuable than possessions. Because money comes and goes. But time, once it's gone, you never get it back. So you better start protecting it like your life depends on it, because it does. So starting today, I need you to make a commitment. Stop saying yes to everything. Stop giving your time away to people and things that don't align with your goal. Stop feeling guilty for protecting your priorities. Say no, set boundaries, guard your time, because every time you say no to a distraction, you are saying yes to your dreams. You keep waiting for the perfect moment, waiting for everything to feel right, waiting for all the stars to align before you go all in. But let me tell you something. There is no perfect time. There is no perfect moment. There is only right now. And if you don't act on what you have right now, you're going to wake up one day and realize you wasted years waiting for something that was never coming. Success is not about waiting for the conditions to be ideal. It's about making it work in spite of the conditions. Too many people sit around saying, I'll start when I have more money. I'll start when I have more time. I'll go all in when I feel more ready. No, you start now. You start with what you have. You start where you are. Because the truth is, you're never going to feel completely ready. You're never going to have everything figured out before you begin. And if you wait for the perfect time, you're going to be stuck in the same place 5, 10, 20 years from now, wondering why nothing ever changed. You don't need perfect conditions to execute. You just need commitment. You need the mindset that says, no matter what, I'm going to make this happen. Because life is never going to make it easy for you. There will always be obstacles. There will always be challenges. There will always be something trying to slow you down. But the ones who succeed, the ones who win, they don't wait for conditions to be in their favor. They create the condition. They move in the face of uncertainty. They push through even when it's uncomfortable. Some of you keep telling yourself, I'll start when I have more confidence. But listen, confidence doesn't come before action. It comes because of action. You build confidence by showing up, by doing the work, by proving to yourself that you can handle whatever comes your way. Every time you take action, you reinforce the belief that you are capable. Every time you push through, you get stronger. But if you keep waiting for confidence before you start, you'll never move. You think the greats had everything figured out when they started? You think they had a perfect plan, unlimited resources, everything going their way? No, they started with what they had. They started before they felt ready. And because they started, because they took action despite the obstacles, they created momentum. And momentum is the key. Once you start moving, once you start executing, things begin to shift in your favor. Opportunities start to appear. Doors start to open. Not because you waited, but because you moved. But here's the problem. Some of you are addicted to procrastination. You call it preparation. You call it research. You call it getting your ducks in a row. But the truth is, you're scared. You're scared to start because starting means you might fail. Starting means you might mess up. Starting means you might not get it right the first time. But let me ask you something. So what? So what if you fail? So what if you mess up? So what if you don't get it right the first time? That's part of the process. Nobody gets it perfect on day one. Nobody steps into success without first stepping into uncertainty. The difference between the ones who win and the ones who don't is that the winners aren't afraid to take that first step. They aren't afraid to look foolish. They aren't afraid to fail because they understand that failure is data. Every mistake teaches you something. Every setback makes you stronger. Every wrong move gets you closer to the right one. But none of that happens if you don't start. You need to stop overthinking. Stop doubting. Stop hesitating. Stop waiting for the right time. The right time is now. The right time is today. The right time is the moment you decide you're done making excuses. So make the decision. Move. Execute. Because the only thing standing between you and your dreams is action. You say you want success. You say you want to win. You say you want to be great. But let me ask you something. How bad do you really want it? Because a lot of people talk about success like it's something that just happens, like one day They're just going to wake up and have everything they ever dreamed of. But that's not how it works. Success is earned, not given. And the price, it's high. It's paid in sacrifice. It's paid in discipline. It's paid in blood, sweat, and tears. And the question is, are you willing to pay it? Because a lot of people say they want it until it's time to do what it takes. Until it's time to wake up early. Until it's time to stay late. Until it's time to cut off distractions, lock in, and make the hard choices. Everybody wants to be successful until they realize the price. And that's where most people fall off. That's where most people quit. Not because they can't do it, but because they're not willing to do it. The ones who win, they don't just want success, they crave it. They need it. It's not a hobby. It's not a side hustle. It's an obsession. It's the thing that keeps them up at night and wakes them up in the morning. It's the thing that drives them when they're tired, when they're frustrated, when they feel like giving up. Because they understand that success isn't something you chase, it's something you become. And becoming that person requires sacrifice. You cannot have success and comfort at the same time. You cannot have greatness and convenience. If you want to be elite, if you want to be the best, if you want to go to that next level, you have to be willing to give up the things that are keeping you average. You have to sacrifice. You have to let go of some things. Some of you want success, but you don't want to give up your bad habits. You want to be great, but you don't want to change your routine. You want to win, but you don't want to stop wasting time. And that's why you're stuck. That's why you're frustrated. That's why you keep hitting the same wall over and over again, because you refuse to let go of the things that are keeping you from growing. You say you don't have time, but you're on social media for 3 hours a day. You say you're grinding, but you're watching Netflix every night. You say you want it, but your actions don't match your words. And until your actions align with your goals, you're never going to see the results you want. You have to start making the hard choices. You have to start cutting off the distractions. You have to start being real with yourself and asking, what am I willing to sacrifice to get to where I want to be? Because success doesn't come without sacrifice. It doesn't come without struggle. It doesn't come without pushing yourself past your limits, past your excuses, past your comfort zone. You think the greats got there by being comfortable? You think they made it by doing what was easy? No, they sacrificed. They gave up sleep. They gave up parties. They gave up wasting time. They gave up friendships that weren't serving them. They gave up everything that wasn't aligned with their vision. And because they paid the price, they earned the reward. You can have excuses or you can have results, but you can't have both. So what's it going to be? Are you going to keep making excuses, or are you going to step up and make the sacrifices required to win? Because the truth is, your dreams are possible, your goals are achievable, your vision can become reality, but only if you're willing to pay for it. So decide right now, what are you willing to give up to get to where you say you want to be? Because if you're not willing to sacrifice, you're not really ready for success. You've come too far to quit now. You put in too much work, sacrificed too much, endured too much to stop short of the finish line. And yet, this is where most people give up. Right when it gets tough, right when it gets uncomfortable, right when they start feeling pressure. But pressure is not your enemy. Pressure is what reveals who you really are. See, everybody wants success when it's easy. Everybody wants to grind when they feel good, when they're motivated, when everything is going their way. But the ones who win, the ones who separate themselves, they're the ones who keep pushing when they don't feel like it. They're the ones who keep executing when it hurts, when it's hard, when nothing seems to be working. Because they understand that breakthrough doesn't come when it's convenient. It comes when you refuse to quit. Too many people stop at 90%. Too many people slow down when they're almost there. And that's why they never get to the next level. They get tired, they get discouraged, they start looking at the progress they've made and say, well, maybe this is enough. But enough is not greatness. Enough is not excellence. If you want to dominate, if you want to go all the way, you have to keep pushing. When most people stop, it's supposed to be hard. It's supposed to challenge you. It's supposed to test you. That's how you grow. That's how you separate yourself. Because most people fold under pressure. Most people look for the exit when things get uncomfortable. But You don't have that option. You've come too far. You've invested too much. This is the moment where you show yourself and the world what you're made of. Are you going to fold like everybody else, or are you going to dig deep and keep going? Are you going to let the pressure break you, or are you going to use it to fuel you? Success is not for the weak. It's not for the ones who need everything to be easy. It's for the ones who can endure, the ones who can take the hits and keep moving, the ones who can face rejection, failure, disappointment, and still show up the next day ready to fight again. That's what separates the good from the great. That's what determines who makes it and who doesn't. You've got to stop looking for an easy way out. You've got to stop waiting for somebody to save you. You've got to stop hoping that things will magically get easier. They won't, but you will get stronger if you keep going. If you refuse to quit, if you make up your mind right now that no matter how hard it gets, no matter how long it takes, no matter what obstacles come your way, you will not stop until you reach your goal. Because you didn't come this far just to come this far. You didn't put in all this work just to be average. You didn't endure all those setbacks just to stop at almost. You are built for more. You are capable of more. And the only way you fail is if you quit. So keep pushing, keep grinding, keep executing, because your breakthrough is closer than you think.